If you're watching this video, you have probably just gone through a breakup that left you shattered, and I know exactly what you're feeling right now. That empty feeling in your stomach, that desperate need to know what's going through your ex's mind. Do they miss you? Are they suffering like you are, or have they completely forgotten about you already? Today, I'm going to reveal something that will completely change your perspective on breakups. I'm going to show you what really happens in your ex's mind when you disappear from their life. And I warn you, what you're about to discover may be uncomfortable at first, but is exactly what you need to hear to regain your power. Before we continue, hit the subscribe button because on this channel we reveal the psychological truths that no one else dares to tell you about. Relationships, attraction, and the human mind. Now, let me ask you a direct question. Have you been sending messages to your ex? Calling? Obsessively checking their social media? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you need to stop all of that immediately. Because every time you do that, you're destroying any possibility that this person will ever desire you again. Here's the brutal truth that no one tells you. At the exact moment they broke up with you, your ex experienced something completely opposite to what you felt. While you fell into an abyss of pain and confusion, they felt relief. Yes, relief. And I know this hurts to hear, but stay with me because understanding this is crucial. Your ex felt relief because they had been mentally preparing for this moment for weeks, maybe months. For you, it was a devastating surprise. For them, it was the end of a long and painful process that they could finally complete. They had already gone through the stages of grief while they were still with you. They had already imagined life without you. They had already accepted that it would end. And when they finally did it, when they finally said those words that shattered your world, they felt like they had overcome the hardest obstacle. They internally congratulated themselves for having the courage to do it. And at that moment, you and your ex were in completely different emotional universes. You were destroyed. They were relieved. You felt like you had lost something invaluable. They felt like they had regained their freedom. And here's the most important part, Achi. That moment, your ex was not experiencing any loss. Zero, nothing. Do you know why? Because in their mind, they had all the control. They knew that if at any point they regretted it, they just had to send you a message and you would come running back. You were their guaranteed backup plan. Let me explain something fundamental about human psychology. There is an abysmal difference between never having had something and having had something and then losing it. I have never dated Scarlett Johansson. I have never had her. So even though I think she's incredible, I don't experience any real loss because she was never mine. I can joke about it without pain. But if Scarlett Johansson and I had been together, if I had had her in my life, if I had experienced that connection and then lost her, then yes, I would experience devastating pain because you can only lose what you once had. And here is the twist that changes everything. Right now, you are the one experiencing the loss. You are the one feeling the pain. But your ex is not. Not yet. Because in their mind, they haven't lost you. They still have you available. You're like an object on their shelf that they can pick up whenever they want. But now I'm going to reveal the secret that completely reverses this power dynamic. When you disappear from your ex's life, when you implement what we call strategic silence, something extraordinary begins to happen in their brain. And this is backed by neuroscience. It's not magic or manipulation. It's pure human biology. In the first 48 hours after you disappear, your ex is still in the relief phase. They're enjoying their new freedom, maybe going out with friends, maybe already talking to other people. And honestly, at this point, they're probably not thinking about you much. This is hard to hear, but it's the truth. But then something starts to change. Their phone vibrates. They look at the screen, expecting to see your name. But it's not you. It's someone else. And even if they won't admit it, even if consciously they don't want to talk to you, there is a small pang of disappointment. Their brain had created an automatic expectation. Phone vibrates equals your name. And that expectation was not met. This happens once, twice, 10 times, 20 times. And every time it happens, a seed of doubt is being planted in their mind. After a few days, your ex begins to enter the second phase, curiosity and curiosity. let me tell you this very clearly, is the direct precursor to attraction. You cannot feel attraction for someone who is completely predictable and available. Attraction requires mystery. It requires uncertainty. Your ex starts wondering, why hasn't she contacted me? What are they doing? Who are they with? Have they already gotten over the breakup? Are they dating someone else? Do I not matter to them at all? And here is the beautiful irony. They thought you would be the one chasing them. They expected your desperate messages, your tearful calls, your pleas to come back. They had mentally prepared their cold and distant responses. They had imagined how they would firmly reject you. But none of that is happening. And this completely throws them off. Your silence is doing something that no words could achieve. It's forcing them to think about you constantly. Every hour that passes without your contact is an hour in which their brain is trying to solve the mystery of your absence. They check your social media. They look for signs that you're suffering. They want to confirm that you still want them, that you're still their safe backup plan. But if you're smart, if you really understand the psychological game, you don't give them that satisfaction. Your social media shows that you're living your life. You're not posting desperate things. You're not sending hints. You simply exist without them. And this takes them to the third phase, fear. Now your ex begins to experience something they never anticipated. They begin to fear that they have truly lost you, that this time is different, that maybe, just maybe, they made a mistake. Remember what I said earlier, you can only lose what you once had. Well, now they're starting to experience that loss, because for the first time since the breakup, they realize that they don't have you on their shelf. You're not their guaranteed backup plan. They can't just snap their fingers and get you back. The tables have completely turned. Before, you were the one who felt like you had lost them. Now, they are the ones who fear having lost you. Before, you were the one who felt like you couldn't get them back. Now, they are the ones who feel like they can't get you back. And here is the most powerful part. This happened without you doing absolutely anything. You didn't beg, you didn't plead, you didn't humiliate yourself. You simply disappeared. And your absence created more desire than any words you could have said. In this fear phase, your ex begins to idealize the relationship. All the problems that led them to break up with you start to seem small and insignificant. They begin to remember only the good times. Your laugh, your conversations, the way you made them feel, the things they took for granted when they had you. And here is the crucial psychological detail. When something is highly available, the human brain automatically devalues it. It's an evolutionary survival mechanism. Our ancestors didn't value water when they were next to a river. Only when they were in the desert, dying of thirst, did water become the most valuable thing in the world. You were the river, always available, always there. And that's why they devalued you. But now you are the water in the desert, scarce, inaccessible, and suddenly incredibly valuable. Now, let me warn you about something critical. In this fear phase, many exes will send a casual message. Something like, "Hey, how are you?" Or, "I saw something that reminded me of you," or "just wanted to see how you're doing." This message is not what it seems. It's not an invitation to get back together. It's not a declaration of love. It's a test. They're testing whether you're still their backup plan. They're looking for confirmation that if someday they decide they made a mistake, you'll still be there waiting. And here is what most people do wrong. They respond immediately with a long, emotional message. They reveal their entire hand. They show that they've been desperately waiting for that contact. And the moment they do that, the game is over. Your ex gets the confirmation they were looking for. Their fear disappears, and they return to the relief phase. But if you're wise, if you really understand the psychology behind this, your response is brief, friendly, but distant. "Hey, all good, thanks. Hope you're doing well too." And nothing more. You don't ask how they are. You don't extend the conversation. You don't show any intense emotion. And this takes them to the fourth phase, desperation. Now your ex is in the same emotional place where you were when they broke up with you. They're confused, they're hurt, they're questioning their decision. They're imagining scenarios where you're already with someone else. They're feeling jealous of people who don't even exist. Their ego is wounded because they thought you were the one who couldn't live without them. But it turns out it seems to be the other way around. They thought they had all the power, but now they feel powerless. And here's the deepest truth of all. This process is not just about getting your ex back. It's about getting yourself back. Because let me tell you something you need to understand at your core. Part of the pain you're feeling right now is not just love. It's wounded ego. It's the blow to your self-esteem. It's the feeling of having been rejected, devalued, discarded. It's the loss of external validation that this person gave you. And when you implement strategic silence, when you disappear, you're not just playing a psychological game with your ex. You're healing your own psyche. You're recovering your dignity. You're reminding yourself that your worth does not depend on whether someone else chooses you or not. Your friends value you. Your family values you. You were created as a human being with intrinsic worth. And that worth does not diminish because one person decided they didn't want to be with you. Now, let's talk about something that many relationship experts won't tell you because it's not politically correct, but it's absolutely true. Attraction is not a choice. It's not democratic. It's not fair. It doesn't respond to logic or reason. Your ex didn't lose attraction to you because you did something objectively bad. The attraction fell because the relationship dynamic changed. Maybe you became too available. Maybe you stopped having your own life. Maybe you started needing them more than they needed you. And when attraction falls, all those little things that didn't matter before suddenly become intolerable. The geographical distance, your annoying habits, personality differences, family issues, everything gets magnified. But here is the hopeful part. Attraction can return. Not always, not in every case, but it can return. And the fastest way for it to return is through your absence, because your absence does several things simultaneously. First, it breaks the negative patterns that had been established. All those toxic dynamics, all those repetitive arguments, all those destructive cycles stop abruptly. Second, it gives you time to work on yourself, to regain your center, to become again the version of you that was naturally attractive. Third, it creates space for your ex to genuinely miss you. You cannot miss someone who is constantly present, physically or digitally. Fourth, it activates the principle of scarcity. What is scarce is valuable. What is abundant is common. And fifth, it gives them the opportunity to experience life without you and realize that maybe it's not as wonderful as they imagined. Now, I want to be completely honest with you about something. This is not an exact science. It's not mathematics. Your ex is a complex human being with their own history, their own traumas, their own needs and desires. There are no guarantees. Sometimes your ex won't come back, and that doesn't mean you failed. It means that person wasn't for you. It means the universe is protecting you from a relationship that wasn't sustainable in the long term. And here is the beautiful part. If you implement strategic silence correctly, if you really use it as a time to work on yourself and not just as a manipulation tactic, you win either way. If your ex comes back, they come back to an improved version of you. A version that has boundaries, a version that doesn't accept being treated as a backup plan, a version that knows its worth. And if your ex doesn't come back, you move forward as a stronger person, more attractive to the right people who will come into your life. Because let me tell you something that will change your perspective. Refusing to be someone's backup plan is not a game. It's self-respect. It's dignity. It's self. Nobody wants the backup plan. Everyone wants the main prize. And when you behave like a backup plan, when you're always available, always waiting, always begging, you're positioning yourself as something. But when you disappear, when you live your life, when you show that you can be fine without them, you become the prize. You become what they lost. You become the one that got away. And that That is what creates real attraction. So, what should you do right now? It's simple, but not easy. Disappear completely. No more messages, no more calls, no more likes on social media, no more casual appearances where you know they'll be. Disappear. Use this time to rebuild yourself, go to the gym, develop new skills. Reconnect with friends, pursue your goals, become the best version of yourself. And observe how your ex goes through the phases I described to you. Observe how curiosity turns into fear. Observe how fear turns into desperation. But more importantly, observe how you change, how you regain your power, how you remember who you were before this person defined you. Because in the end, this is not a prophecy about what your ex will think when you disappear. It's a prophecy about what you will become when you stop chasing someone who let you go. It's a prophecy about your transformation from someone desperate to someone desirable, from someone needy to someone necessary, from someone who begs for love to someone who inspires it. And that is the true magic of silence. If this video has opened your eyes, hit the like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And subscribe to the channel because we will continue revealing the psychological truths that transform lives and relationships. Remember, your worth is not up for debate. Your ex does not have the power to determine it. Only you have that power, and it's time for you to claim it. See you in the next video.